Donald Trump may have a great talent for laying out an aggressive plan about what he wants to do in the future and selling people on it, but he's also very disorganized when it comes to his plans and scatterbrained, and at times just doesn't seem to know much about policy or what he actually wants to do. So Politico reports President Trump suggested Wednesday he will delay 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada another month, the latest in a series of conflicting statements about the timeline for those and other tariffs that have created confusion about which duties the White House plans to roll out and when. April 2 for everything, Trump said during a cabinet meeting in the White House when asked about the planned tariffs on the North American countries. I'm not stopping the tariffs. Millions of people have died because of the fentanyl that comes over the border, Trump said. Trump's marks in the Oval Office come 2 days after Trump suggested the 25% tariffs are going forward on time, on schedule, on March 4th. Asked for clarification, a White House spokesperson said tariffs on Mexico and Canada are still expected to take effect on Tuesday. Quote, that timeline is still intact. He's still reviewing progress made by Canada and Mexico to address Trump's concerns, said the official, who was granted anonymity to share details of internal discussions. I think things just got muddled in there, the official added. Quote, reciprocal tariffs are still on for April 2nd, they noted, referring to tariffs Trump has said he plans to impose on all trading partners based off the trade barriers they impose on U.S. goods. Okay, so reciprocal tariffs, are those actually a good idea? I suppose they're more defensible than unreciprocal tariffs, but I still don't know if he's going to go about them the right way. Are the tariffs that they have on us more mild than the tariffs that Trump plans to lay out on them? That would be something for consideration and something which would probably make his tariff plan unreasonable. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick also said during the meeting that if Canada and Mexico can show they've done an excellent job on the issue of fentanyl, then the tariffs could be delayed beyond March 4th, but he appeared to suggest the countries could still be hit with tariffs. Quote, the big transaction is April 2nd. The White House's shifting pronouncements on trade, however, are creating uncertainty that is beginning to roil financial markets and has set off scrambles in foreign capitals as their leaders seek ways to deter the steepest hikes. The confusion is sure to complicate meetings with several foreign officials flocking to Washington, D.C., seeking to stave off tariffs from the U.S. president. Top diplomatic and security officials from Mexico are heading to Washington to meet with Marco Rubio this week. Claudia Sheinbaum, the president, told reporters on Wednesday, adding that preparations for the discussions have taken place for several days. New UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is on his way to the U.S. Capitol for meetings with Trump later this week, just the latest leader to call or meet with the president to discuss tariffs and other matters. French President Emmanuel Macron was at the White House Monday. Macron's visit doesn't appear to have yielded much, at least on the trade front. Trump on Wednesday said he is ready to slap a 25% tariff on the European Union. Quote, we have made a decision and will be announcing it very soon. It'll be 25%, generally speaking, and that will be on cars and all the things. And all the things. That is a Trumpian thing to say. Good job, Mr. President. He said during the cabinet meeting he did not clarify whether the 25% was the rate of the reciprocal tariff or whether it would be an additional tariff calculated on top of that. The European Union was formed to screw the United States. Let's be honest, Trump argued. The president is, quote, now more intently looking at the EU situation, the White House official confirmed Wednesday. Canada and Mexico were among the first countries Trump targeted after winning the presidency, promising in November to impose new tariffs on the United States' North American neighbors as soon as he entered office, unless they did more to block undocumented migrants and fentanyl from crossing their borders. He subsequently signed executive orders to raise the duties on all Canadian and Mexican imports to 25%, excluding Canadian energy products, which would face a 10% tariff effective February 4. After a flurry of negotiations with Canadian and Mexican leaders, Trump agreed to further pause the tariffs for 1 month until March 4. Okay, so he's all over the place. These dates, like, it doesn't seem like there's anything really coherent going on here. And maybe conservatives will argue that, oh, that's for the best. You know, he needs to just say, hey, we're going to do tariffs, and then get them to change their conduct. I don't know. That seems like right-wing cope so far. That, oh, yeah, you know, he's a master. He's using tariffs. Yeah, like, Trump is not really a policy guy. He's not a 3D chess master when it comes to policy. I would say he's a 3D chess master in terms of campaigning, in a sense, in terms of rhetoric within the United States, but internationally, I just don't know. I don't know if he's a guy who knows how to handle people internationally, if he knows how to deal with that all that well. Yeah, he had his tariffs on Bolivia too, which of course would have raised prices massively on a bunch of stuff. All the things, as Trump would say, that we get from Bolivia. But yeah, this is just another part of the series of the chaotic Trump economic and foreign policy episode. I don't remember him being this like chaotic about tariffs in his first term. I know he did some of that on like Chinese steel, but nothing quite like this. But overall, I feel like tariffs, even though the tariffs he's running on are bad, they're too steep, and they're probably going to cause inflation. I feel like that's peanuts. That's nothing compared to the Doge cuts that are going on and this insanity that's really just ripping the country apart from within, leaving the government understaffed and leaving Americans unhelped, basically, potentially killing people. But yeah, let me know what you think about Trump and his tariff fiasco in the comments below. Like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.